Culturing probiotics in a home kitchen. What's the point of this and why should you do it? In this video, this is what I'm going to go over and the reasons why you should consider taking a probiotic and you should amplify it in your home kitchen through the method of fermentation. So when I go and I have a probiotic or any other type of probiotic that I'm going to recommend to a client, what will happen is that a probiotic is going to be manufactured and it is going to be wrapped up in a capsule like this or in a tab like this. In both cases, the microbes that are present in both tabs and in capsules, they are freeze-dried, dormant, inactive microbes. This easily leads into my first point, having and consuming live cultures compared to a dormant, freeze-dried culture. A live culture is going to be much more efficient. You're going to get the therapeutic effects of that probiotic much faster. If, for example, I were to take a probiotic like this, or even a tab, like the BioGaia gastrus Reuteri tabs, the microbes here are dormant. What that means is that if I were to take this, put it in my mouth, and I were to swallow it or let it dissolve, the bacteria that are asleep would then go into my gut. They are going to then go through their waking up phase because my gut is warm, it's body temperature, 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The bacteria are going to wake up and they are going to have what we call a lag phase. They're going to have the time it takes for them to get up and for their metabolisms to start ramping up. Now, that usually would not be a problem. That being said, you still do have transit. Digestion is not stationary. As you swallow these capsules, by the time the bacteria are waking up and start metabolizing, they may or may not be in the right area in your gut for them to actually do anything. And so the time it takes for a probiotic that's in a freeze-dried phase, a sleeping phase, may not be as effective at bringing a therapeutic effect for the person who's taking it. On the other hand, when you take a live yogurt and you have, or even a live sauerkraut, or maybe a live natto, or maybe a kimchi, or maybe another type of a ferment that you're interested in, when you take a live culture, those cultures, they do resist acidity well, so they are able to pass through the stomach and through the acidic stomach and go into the gut. In that gut, because these microbes are already alive and have been activated, they are much more capable at bringing a therapeutic effect to the person who's taking it. That being said, if you're not necessarily interested in having the quote-unquote microbiome enhancing effects of a probiotic, then you may just rather have actual fermented foods rather than a probiotic that has a specific strain because it has a certain therapeutic effect. In that case, regular fermented foods would do the trick. Now, why would someone choose to put a probiotic into a ferment rather than just making a regular ferment that actually has already microbes in it that are beneficial for the gut? Here's why. The bacteria or microbes that are present in a certain type of a probiotic are going to have refined and amplified microbial strains that have been proven through studies for actual beneficial help. When you are doing a home ferment like yogurt or sauerkraut or sourdough bread, you are leaving it more up to your environment, your local home environment, as to what kinds of microbes are going to be growing in that actual ferment. You have less control over what kind of population you're growing, but you still have that home advantage of using your natural environment to make your ferment. And so in other words, what you would be doing is if you do want to take a probiotic and put it into a ferment, is that you're taking a modern science and you're incorporating it into the traditional technique of fermentation and using these probiotics in a traditional way that you can actually eat and consume. Having a probiotic that you're swallowing with some water is not the same thing as sitting down and having a bowl of yogurt that has, like a banana and some honey over it. Now, this point is going to be more of a side note, but when you're looking at a capsule, you are also consuming, alongside of the active ingredients or the dormant ingredients, you're consuming the capsule, you're consuming the fillers, you're consuming all these other things. And you have to have blind trust in the factory that is making these types of probiotics or other supplements. It's hard to see firsthand what's actually going into these capsules. You do have proof of work and you have your labs that provide what it is that they're doing, and they should have certifications. Don't buy supplements that don't have certifications. But when you take a probiotic, you can empty it out, and then you get to have better control over the types of things that are going in your body. And that's more interesting for someone that's trying to pay attention to having more of a reinforced autonomy into what goes in their body. Also, like all things, when you make a probiotic or any other type of like supplement or capsule or tab, the more exposed to oxygen they are, or to light, or to higher temperatures, the more they're going to degrade over time. That's why these are double wrapped in foil so that there's no light. I will take this. There's no light, there's no oxygen. They're paying attention to these things because they know for a fact that if they don't put it in this foil casing, that it will degrade. And so what that tells us is that these things do have a potential for degrading and losing their potency, losing their ability to be effective. Whereas if you were to take this, open it up, and put it into a ferment and have it be a live culture, you would be able to have that maintained live active culture in your fridge or sitting on your countertop fermenting, ready to eat at a moment's notice. I also know that for me personally, I much prefer sitting down to have an actual food in front of me rather than having a glass and a capsule and feeling very detached from what it is that I'm putting in my body food-wise. I like knowing that there is a food I can have, calories that go with it, the nutrition that goes with it, and enjoying that and having an enjoyable moment. It's hard for me to say, wow, yum, a probiotic capsule, delicious. I'm not doing that. No one's doing that. You take it because you feel like it's going to be helpful for you in your health, which is nice. But if you can associate a nice food relationship with your probiotic through eating a real food, you're getting more joy out of it. That's also another way to really easily improve your relationship with food and how you're taking these things that are supposed to be uplifting for you and your health. All right, so next, moving on to another really important point is that when you have traditional yogurt, you're going to get two main strains of bacteria, Streptococcus thermophilus and Lactobacillus delbrueckii bulgaricus. Those are the two main easy access, they're widely available bacteria. Now, when you go and you look at, for example, BioGaia Gastris L-Reuteri supplements, the L-Reuteri in here is patented. It is licensed. And so what that means is that you cannot find the L-Reuteri in this supplement bottle anywhere else. It is licensed, and it would be illegal for anyone else to have the same type of L-Reuteri strain as these people. And so you do want to keep in mind that if you are doing research on L-Reuteri, for example, and you are looking into the bone enhancing effects of this certain type of probiotic or the digestive effects of this, L-Reuteri probiotic, you would have to use the exact same one here, and other L-Reuteri probiotics will not provide that same type of therapeutic effect. Full stop, no exceptions. This is licensed and patented. You cannot do that. And so what can we do to solve for the solution? Because eventually these do get expensive, and you say, hey, I want to have therapeutic probiotics that are so powerful. They found a reason to license and patent this type of L-Reuteri probiotic because of how powerful and because of how therapeutic it is. They said, we are the ones that put forth the effort towards isolating this specific microbe. We finance the labs. And so what we can do is we can take one capsule and we can crush it up. We can put it into a milk medium. Check out my L-Reuteri yogurt tutorial if you'd like help. And we can make L-Reuteri yogurt out of this one specific probiotic, and you are effectively naturally amplifying. So then you're also getting your money's worth. You are making these capsules, these probiotic tablets go farther. You are able to amplify the specific patented licensed L-Reuteri strain here in your own home kitchen without having to buy tens, 20s, hundreds of bottles of probiotics. And on top of that, you are taking a dormant form of this L-Reuteri and you are activating it. You are waking it up so it becomes more beneficial faster for you in your health reasons to why you're taking this specific probiotic. So in summary, these are the main reasons as to why I would choose to take a probiotic, a powerful probiotic like this one, and I would choose to culture it in my home kitchen. It helps me take this one capsule and turn it into 8, 10, 12. It helps me amplify this specific strain of L. reuteri. It also helps me take a dormant bacteria that would be in a lag phase and amplify it, feed it, so that it gets into a log phase of exponential growth. I'm building CFUs, I'm building colony forming units, so I'm getting more therapeutic bacteria in my ferment. And I'm also able to have a more enjoyable experience with the probiotics that I'm consuming. I'm not sitting down with a glass of water and a pill. I'm sitting down with a bowl of yogurt and I'm having a more enjoyable experience, and I'm building a positive relationship with my food, all while getting the beneficial therapeutic effects of a really effective probiotic. Now, if you're interested in culturing your own probiotics, I would highly recommend that you subscribe and stick around, because I will be diving into this topic more and more. If you are interested, I do have an L. reuteri yogurt tutorial for both dairy yogurt and coconut yogurt for the specific probiotic. And if you'd like to learn more, or if you have specific questions about how to culture a specific probiotic in your home kitchen, please ask in the comment section below. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is Matthew Cress of Cress Dietetics. You can find me either here on this YouTube channel or at my website, cressdietetics.com. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.